Yes, no KKK, no fascist USA.
At the end of December 2025, investor Ben Horowitz said, "The clearest sign that we are not actually in a bubble is the fact that everyone is talking about a bubble." You could say the same about fascism. Under the real thing, people know what's happening without needing a lot of eggheads and politicos to tell them. Yet since 2016, Donald Trump's fiercest critics have from time to time reached for the word fascism to explain their troubles.
This is not politics as usual, my friends. This is authoritarianism. It's fascism dressed in a red tie.
Also settling on it last summer was Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
These are fascist policies meant to take away our... That is what they are.
In January, he went further.
Many of us grew up reading that story of Anne Frank,
making a discreditable comparison between people worried about immigration raids and Anne Frank.
Somebody's going to write that children's story about Minnesota.
Elsewhere, The Atlantic just published an essay, Yes, It's Fascism, in which a Brookings Institution scholar draws up a series of categories: demolition of norms, might is right, police state tactics, blood and soil nationalism, that in his view describe both Mr. Trump and classical fascism of the 1930s.
The point I make in the article, which I think is important, is that America is now a hybrid regime because it has a fascist leader, but a liberal constitution.
You could write the same sort of clever essay to show that Barack Obama is a socialist, or that Zoran Mamdani is a communist.
I was elected as a democratic socialist, and I will govern as a democratic socialist.
But unlike Mr. Obama and Mamdani, who hold coherent worldviews at least partially consistent with socialism and communism, respectively, Mr. Trump has no categorizable worldview.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes. Okay.
The suffixes ist and ism assume conscious belief.
It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
You can't be a fascist or a socialist or a communist without in any way meaning to be one.
For those who have been wronged and betrayed, of which there are many people out there that have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. We will take care of it.
It's true, in fairness to liberals who have mistaken Mr. Trump for a fascist over the past decade, that the president sometimes acts and sounds like a strongman.
They're people. Radical left.
He understands constitutional limits when he wants to, and doesn't when he doesn't.
Morning, ma'am. Morning.
In his second term, he has used the Justice Department to target his foes, though in comically inept ways that diminish his polling numbers and turn those foes into heroes.
My heart is broken for the Department of Justice.
The president has chafed at constitutional limits, but hasn't declared himself exempt from them except in goading asides.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no. Other than day one."
And amusingly, he takes an interest in buildings, which is weird but doesn't hurt anything but sensibilities.
The so-called Kennedy Center board wants to rename the Kennedy Center after Donald Trump. Are you kidding me?
These are things that make Mr. Trump more interesting and more puzzling and exasperating than the latter-day fascist of liberal imagination. He has far more in common with Andrew Jackson than with Buzz Windrip, anti-hero of Sinclair Lewis's novel It Can't Happen Here.
I'm staying till the problem's gone.
Strong men don't do what President Trump did in Minneapolis, moderate in response to the public's perception that his policy has gone awry. Without acknowledging it, he removed Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Border Patrol Chief Greg Bovino from operations, and replaced them with the more experienced and professional Tom Homan.
No agency or organization is perfect. President Trump and I, along with others in the administration, have recognized that certain improvements could and should be made.
The descriptor fascist, which is really only a highfalutin term for Nazi, does what other words don't. It places its object outside the company of lawful American actors. It was an approach Gavin Newsom took in 2024, opening his State of the State address like this.
I begin today with a warning from the past. It was January 2nd, 1939, that anxious moment in history. The world was on edge as fascism spread its hate and destruction through Europe.
Then, a few months later, as Election Day neared, came this reaction to Mr. Trump's announcement that he'd be holding a rally in New York City.
Please Google Madison Square Garden, February the 10th, 1939, and see what happened there. They are telling you exactly what they're going to do. They're telling you we're going to institute a fascist regime.
I assume Mr. Walz, Newsom, and Carville know the difference between the Gestapo and federal ICE agents, and between detention centers for illegal immigrants and Bergen-Belsen, because some not insubstantial number of these politicians' listeners take their assertions and calls to action both seriously and literally.
Take out that phone and hit record.
American public figures have a duty to think better of their country than to believe it capable of putting a fascist in the White House. Some of them might ponder the possibility that President Trump wouldn't be there at all were it not for excesses they cheered at the time.